Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, so we're diving into the European weather forecast end of October 2025. Looks pretty intense.
It really does. The source material highlights this period of significant atmospheric transition. Volatility is the key word.
And the core theme seems to be this massive continent-wide clash, right? You've got that super cold air parked in the east.
Yeah, deep continental cold.
Smashing right into the mild, wet stuff rolling in from the Atlantic.
Exactly. And it's setting up what the sources are calling a battleground over Central Europe. It's not just a passing front.
A battleground, so not uniform weather then.
No, definitely not. Very dynamic, slow moving. It means you'll likely see pretty changeable conditions, different hazards in different places.
Right. And this whole setup, it stems from that big cold outbreak just before this period, doesn't it?
It does. That plunge, like 10, even 15 degrees Celsius below normal in places.
Wow. What caused that?
That was a classic Rex block. Basically, a big, stubborn, high-pressure system that just sat there. It acted like a dam, really. It stalled the pattern and funneled that frigid Arctic air way down south, and then just, locked it in place.
Okay, so that block sets the stage. What are the main legacies, the things left behind that matter now?
Two big things. First, this huge reservoir of cold air still sitting over Eastern Europe, Western Russia, and hasn't gone away.
Right.
And second, because of that cold and precipitation, there's now an extensive snowpack, especially in the mountains. I think Alps, maybe up to half a meter.
Half a meter of snow.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense for reinforcing cold. But why is the reservoir itself so critical right now? Is it just the amount of cold?
It's the amount combined with that snow reinforcement, that fresh snow cover. It reflects sunlight really effectively. High albedo, we call it.
Albedo.
So the ground stays cold, the air above it stays cold. It makes that eastern air mass much more stubborn, much harder for the Atlantic air to shift. It's a stronger barrier.
Got it. So, immovable object in the east. What happens when the unstoppable force, this energetic Atlantic jet stream, slams into it?
Well, that's where the fireworks happen. You get this incredibly sharp temperature contrast right where they meet.
The baroclinic zone.
Exactly, a really strong baroclinic zone. Think of it like a tightly wound spring, basically. Loads of potential energy just waiting to be released as storms. Very unstable.
Okay, let's break down the immediate risks. Where are the biggest hazards? Northwest Europe first, UK, Ireland.
Yeah, that looks like the prime corridor for really heavy disruptive rain. We're talking significant risk of flooding, both surface water, pluvial, and river flooding. Fluvial.
A little wind.
Oh yeah, big wind hazard too. Gale force winds are expected, widespread gusts maybe hitting 65, 80 kilometers per hour. That's trouble for transport. Power lines. London, for example, specifically flagged for high travel disruption risk.
Okay, intense wind and rain in the west. What about further east where that cold reservoir is? Germany, Poland, towards Moscow.
Completely different story there. The main risk shifts to cold. High chance of the first really widespread agricultural frosts of the season, potentially severe ones.
Damaging frosts.
Potentially, yes. And look at Moscow forecasts show it being persistently cold, damp, struggling maybe just to reach 9 Celsius. That damp cold really pushes up energy demand, fuel consumption, something to watch for logistics.
Right. And then there's Southern Europe. Often has its own microclimates.
Absolutely. High terrain means high variability. The sources specifically mention the Adriatic coast potential for those intense downslope winds. The Bora.
How strong are we talking?
Gusts over 120 kilometers per hour. That's a major, major hazard for shipping any coastal activity.
So, dramatically different simultaneous hazards across the continent. Now, how does the bigger climate picture fit in? Europe's warming fast, right? About 2.3 degrees C up.
It is, yeah, fastest warming continent. But here's the nuance the sources raise. Warming doesn't just mean no more cold. It seems to act more like a volatility multiplier.
Explain that. Volatility multiplier.
Well, think about it. Warmer oceans mean more moisture available. So when it rains harder, like the risk in the UK. But also, some theories suggest Arctic warming might make the jet stream wavier, more meandering. And a wavier jet stream can allow for deeper intrusions of both warm air northwards and, crucially here, very cold air southwards, more extreme swings. This pattern fits that idea.
So the strategic challenge isn't just one type of bad weather, it's managing completely different kinds of extreme weather, hitting different regions all at once.
Exactly. You've got major flooding and wind in one area, severe frost impacting agriculture and energy demand in another, and then these localized, almost hurricane-force winds elsewhere. Multiple, simultaneous, fundamentally different problems.
That demands some serious resilience and flexibility.
It really does. And maybe a final thought. building on that volatility idea, if the jet stream is becoming wavier, are we actually losing extreme cold overall? Or are we just swapping more frequent, moderate cold snaps for maybe fewer, but much more intense, much more disruptive Arctic outbreaks when they do happen?
Huh. Trading moderate cold for a sharper, rarer shocks. That's definitely something to chew on. Okay, we've hit the battleground, the regional risks, the climate context. Lots to track there. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.